Hey yo, Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Hashem Yahshua, Hashem Rakakadash, and double and see apostles and elders, GreatMillStone and real world, man. And Shalom to the brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Just got a little vid wanted to put together, man. Just basically talking about how, you know, Jake Jake really don't want to come out of Babylon, like no way, no how, man. A lot of them, man. 2/3 basically. This is what they glorify. This is what they worship. And this is all they attain, you know, they're striving to be, man. They're just trying to make it in the West, man. And this, you know, this is, hey, the Lord had set up in the spirit, man, because it's like, hey, man, a lot of these guys are degenerate Negroes, man. You go back to the time of the Maccabees, and in the time of the Maccabees, it says what? You said, out of Israel, there went out wicked men, man, who, you know, who joined themselves onto the heathen, man, and became uncircumcised. So that's the same thing we got going on now, because it's the same heathen, man. Some Greeks, you know, them Edomites, some Idumeans, and now we got the same people in power, man. Those Edomites, and you know, Esau's basically doing the same thing he was doing back then, man. Back then they called it Hellenization, man, which is like basically everyone bound to that Hellenic culture. That's why Jake's becoming Hellenes or Hellenistas. And now you got the same thing happening, man. You had Jake putting up hard brick slavery, and now all they're doing is bowing down to the ways of the so-called white man once again. That's what, you know. That's the only reason you got, you know, black men out here, basically talking about women, you know, rights for women. When I was out last night, it's funny because it's like you talk to these Eastern Europeans, them guys. A lot of them guys, like a lot of the Eastern European broads that come over here. Some of them, like, they get westernized. They don't want to go back because they know, but out there, them guys be beating the shit out of them. They ain't in order. Women ain't got no say in society. Basically, they play their role, man. They have kids. They look after the house. They might have to work because that's, you know, Esau's pretty much done it where it's like he's taxing everyone. So we want the broads to work, but really it's like them. They're having to play the role of women, man. They can cook. They can clean, they'll look after the house, all that. And they'll look after their husbands. And ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But it's like, you come to, I was out last night and I was walking past, I was coming back, I was walking past like a group of Jakes, like young Jakes. And he was saying like, this is all I heard from the conversation. It's like, this is why the women are messed up nowadays, man. And you're the cause, fam. I was like, bro. I was like, no. I was like, just no. I was like, I don't even need to know the rest of the conversation. I'm like, first of all, if you're saying the women are messed up, I'm like, bruv, the thing is like, bruv, the reason these women are messed up is ain't because of no nigga on the street. He might be feeding into it, but it's because this so-called white man's basically giving the women the liberty to gather abroad, man. You know, you might as well okay, start and go to First Maccabees 1 and just get, you know, join themselves onto the heathen and get that, and then you can go to thingy as well. Ecclesiasticus, like 25, I think it is. I think it might be on the first.
13, yeah. Okay. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. In those days, when there out of Israel wicked men. Start from 10. Just to get the history on.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Alright, so in those days when there out of Israel wicked men, we persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
Yeah, so you know that's been a thing that Jake's done since the beginning of time. Because you know you had like after Egypt got messed up, you had niggas that were still in Egypt, you know, loving up Egypt. Jake basically loves these heathen cultures and loves to cling on to them, man, and try and get some love from these heathens, man. Which, you know, and how well does that work out? It don't work out well at all. It never does work out. So you get 26 and 10.
This is Sirach chapter 26, verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
Yeah, overmuch liberty. So that's that freedom. And it's a so-called white man. He's the one who's put 999 in the stat in the UK together, basically giving them the capability to go out and do what the hell they want. He's the one who's put together these abortion clinics, so they can go out, they can basically live a degenerate lifestyle of going out giving sucking fucks to everyone. And when the natural process takes place and she gets pregnant, she can just go get the child murdered, and then you know, and then continue with that degenerate lifestyle. You know, that's all from the West. And this, you know, this is what Jacob trying to empower the black woman into. It's like, you know, you need to stand by that black woman, you know. And but then what are these black girls doing? You know, these Jake women, they're going out there, they're being a bunch of devils, man. That's really what's going on. They're going out there being devils. So this is why it's like, and these kinds of things, man, is like really, you know, these things are meant to be getting burned out, man. If you're a man of the Lord, you're really meant to be thinking like, yo, I don't really want to be like, fuck, I don't be messing with that shit.
Got a precept? This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad.
Yeah. Straight. So go back to
Isaiah?
Yeah, grab Isaiah.
Right. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh Shai, that take counsel, but not of me.
Yeah, like now it's like, because basically the so-called white man's become the power over these 2/3, man. They're basically molding their lifestyle to try and fit into what he says. Okay, this is what you need to do. You got niggas, you know, especially these entertainment niggas, going on TV saying, yo, you need to prove to these white people this, prove to them that. What the hell do you have to prove to some grimy Edomite anything, man? Some grizzly Edomite. This guy's gonna go and pop a child. What the hell why are you trying to gain his esteem? That's, you know, that's low. That's a lot. That's weak. That's lame. The thing is this is what it's like Game of Thrones, man. You had like the what do you call it? You had Theon Greyjoy. He's dealing with like his dad was like, he was like, okay, look man, I've got this offer. It's like, yeah, he's gonna give you a crown, this, that. He's like, what? Give me a crown? It's like, no, I'm gonna take the crown, fam. That's the kind of vibe you need to have. These guys are trying to get, you know, esteem from. They're basically trying to be tributaries. These low-level 2/3 niggas. But yo, we need to have that ruling class mentality, man. I'm thinking I want to be under my own power, adhering to the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man, and enforcing those in my land, man. That's what I want to be. I want to be in the state of a king. You know, I want the reward that's described in the scriptures. Everything else that's out here is on a low vibration, man. Go on.
It says, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Yeah, that's it. The covering is of this Edomite spirit, man. They're going by Edomite morality, like, well, you know, for America. Oh, that's a big thing as well. Like, they got, especially in America, these guys, Esau's basically saying, look, you got to bow down to the spirit of America. You got to be an American first. That's why these guys are saying, oh, why don't you go back to Africa? Oh, we African American, though. We ain't African. We African American. I'm like, these guys love America, man. They want to be American, man. African American. That's confusion, bro. What the hell is that? Where's, you know, how are you even going to build an identity off that? That's why y'all are so black. Just black. You know, we black as black peoples. And even that's confusion. You're going to have some light-skinned niggas. Or some guy with some dude with a chick with a white mama. She's going to be like, oh, well, you know, I'm not really for 100% black. So, you know, that's confusion. That's why it's like, oh, that covering. That if you ain't covered with the truth, you're not gonna get any kind of form of building up or knowing what the fuck's going on, man. Go on.
That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Yeah, strengthening in the strength of Pharaoh, man. And now you got that Pharaoh is what's his name, man? Fucking Trump. And the bruv, that's like, it's like you got these. Basically, if you're basically trying to empower yourself within whatever structure the so-called white man's built, you're gonna find out that ain't gonna work out for you too well. These, you know, it's like these blacks in America. They like to try and forget that they were even in slavery, man. It's funny. I was at the pub with one of the brothers, and it's like there was some Edomites. I think it was like there was a street cleaner who came up. We started chatting to him. And then it was like some Edomites started talking about, oh yes, this, that, blah blah. Then he was saying, you know, I go back to a working class family, you know, in Liverpool. I was thinking, okay, you're saying that. Like, you know, my grandfather worked on the docks at Liverpool. I'm like, bro, do you know what them docks in Liverpool were for, mate? They were fucking flourishing and built up of the slave trade, man. But then, you know, I didn't even mention that to him, but I was like, that's a hypocrisy. It's like, you're trying to say, yes, I come from the same kind of... I'm like, no, but, bruv, your ancestors, your ancestors, which is yourself as well, profited off slavery, man.
Yeah.
That's a completely different background, man. Jake is out here, they went for hardcore bondage, and now we're just a vessel wherein there's no pleasure.
There's a difference between the slaves coming into the docks to be sold into servitude, and the guys on the docks making rubies and gold and silver off the back of the slavery.
Yeah.
I got a preset.
Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. You know?
Yeah. That's the Americas, man. That's the main place where you got that image of Cesare Borgia getting propagated, man. That's another form of power that was used over Jake, man. That's another thing that Jake's bowing to, man. That image of the so-called white man as a god. That's, you know, that if you're doing that, that's weak, man. That's how you gonna be empowered. But then the god you're praying to looks like someone completely different. Even these heathen nations ain't really fucking with that too tough.
Yeah, you don't see the Moabites doing that. You've got a fat Moabite to bow down to. This is Isaiah, back in Isaiah 30 verse 3.
Well, you can
Just one more verse really.
No, it's cool. Get what was the one? There's Lamentations and something else. And Revelation. Yeah. Okay, Revelation. Well, actually, get Lamentations first.
Cool. This is Lamentations chapter 5 verse 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities.
Yeah, this is what Jake fails to understand, man. It's like the reason for the state where the thing is this is it's like, bro, if you don't understand why you're in the state you're in, then you're just gonna keep getting messed up, man. It's like any situation of the wild, man. If you got a fucking deer and he keeps, like, you know, just casually strolling by lions and getting killed, and, you know, getting these legs tore up and getting messed up by these lions, then if you don't learn that lesson quickly enough, then you're gonna get fucked up. That's why, you know, Jake's getting messed up. The so-called white man, they're dealing with, you know, with Esau. They don't realize, hold on, this, you know, trying to make friends with a so-called white man, that don't work out too well, ever.
I've got a preset.
Yeah.
This is Sirach chapter 12 verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh with wild beasts?
Yeah, that's, you know, it's in the scriptures. It's like you're dealing with, and it's like, and it says, where is it? Trust not thine enemy, man. And what is it? Sirach as well.
Yeah,
trust not thine enemy. So it's like that's a thing where it's like, if you're basically going to be trying to build up with a so-called white man, look, man, the Lord's already set like the parameters, man, and Esau was created for his express purpose, man. He was set up to just be that devil, and you know, he's basically fucking hell. You know, he's the devil the Bible speaks of, man. That's his purpose and his role. If you're gonna be, you know, trying to get down with the devil to build up, it's not gonna work out well at all, man. And you know, you've got examples. You know, you go to Gaddafi, Osama bin Laden's, all these guys. It's funny. All these different nations, they fuck with the West. Even Arab Emirates. All these countries fuck with the West, man. Afghanistan. Back in the, what was it? I think the 70s. Like, it was basically Russia was having a war with Afghanistan, and the United States that was supporting Afghanistan, and now you got the United States having a war against Afghanistan. This is just, it's just bullshit. This is the so-called white man. You make so that's how I'm like, if this guy's gonna be fighting on both sides just within a space of like 20-30 years, that is just a hot mess. That shows that this is just, it's just about the interests of the wicked elite. That's why it's like, how are you going to be making deals with that? These guys are basically cutthroats that will use anything to attain their goals. But then you're going to be trying to fuck with them, man. That's some madness, man. Go on.
Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand.
Yeah, and that's what Jake needs to understand, man. This so-called white man, he's the servant, man. He's made, you know, he's made to move block. That's really why. It's like he was there to be the devil. Then he's gonna get the most intense and concentrated, absolute destruction for 1,000 years visited upon him, man, by the you know, the children of Israel, man. Once they get raised up and put into order, man.
Precept.
So this is, you know, this is why. Hey, man, this is you need to understand what's going on, man, because it's like if you're basically envying the oppressor, then it's like you don't know what's going on, because just because Esau's in power don't mean the way he lives or what he's doing is righteous.
Sorry. Keep reading this, yeah. We get our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword.
Jake out here fucking getting wigged, going to the fucking, you know, going to the convenience store. That's you know, Jacob really in peril. America is the valley of the shadow of death, man. So you know that's how you know how you gonna be up. And the thing is they'll glorify that lifestyle, but bro, if you got 5-year-olds getting hit by stray bullets, bro, that is not an ideal environment in the slightest. Yeah.
So we get our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness.
Mm.
Jake just getting shot up by cops, man. Going out to their local Costco's.
Go on, do revs.
Cool. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 8. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Yeah, man, and 2/3 are drinking that wine, man, that wrath. Because, hey, look at how this, bro, I'm like, you just look at the so-called wine. I'm like, bro, Coca-Cola is the most popular drink on the planet Earth. And that shit is just killing you. You're drinking some Coca-Colas. You're drinking poison, man. It's like, you might as well drink battery acid. And you got people that chug down like 2-liter bottles, like, I'm like, bro, what the hell is even in that, man? Some criminal soup. The production of that shit is so epic that, like, any water supply they use gets contaminated beyond repair. I'm like, what on earth is going into that? For you to, you know, what the fuck is that shit? But, you know, that's Jake, man. Jake are some base specimens.
They're drinking that Babylon wine.
No?
I got a precept.
Yeah, go for it.
This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. So those wines are talking about the philosophies, you know, and those philosophies are the philosophies of the so-called white man Esau being pushed out through what? Through Babylon onto the whole earth, man.
Straight, man, them philosophies. That's reason, you know, you got these black men becoming trannies, black men becoming homosexuals. That, you know, in Israel, in ancient Israel, a guy like that, you know, he would get the judgment according to the scriptures. But it's like, hey, man, you know, the Lord's basically got our people now just completely fucking dumbfounded, man. They, you know, they don't have the slightest grain of understanding of what's going on, man. And hey, man, that's how the Lord wanted it, man. Because it's, hey, you go back, these guys in the reincarnation, the same wicked devils that put Yahushua to death, man. A lot of these guys. These guys are some wicked assholes, man. Man cried for Barabbas, the murderer, to be released rather than Yahushua. You know, niggas need to get judged for that. That's why it's like, look, it's our fathers of sin. and are not, and we bear their iniquities, man. That's yourselves that sin, man. You know, a lot of these black fucks. That's why it's like getting upset. You know, everyone hands up, don't you? Getting messed up over every nigga that gets shot. You know, you can't really get messed up because, hey man, a lot of these guys are fucking assholes and deserved it. Judgment, man. The Lord's basically bringing judgment. The thing is, you getting messed up over some niggas, you know, some rapper XXX got shot. Or whatever the fuck his name is, man. I'm like, bro, if the guy was 20, I'm like, good. The thing is he got a free pass, man. Because he's a grimy ass Negro. And he went out, he got out super easy, man. He's meant to, you know, he's meant to be out there pushing that chip. Then they were gonna be free, man. That guy might just get given over for the personal torture by some elites or so. Who knows, man?
Got a precept.
Hey, go on.
This is John chapter 8, verse 43. Why do you not understand my speech, even because you cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. You know, because we're bringing out the righteousness of the scriptures. We're bringing out the right way to live, that you're Israelites. But the majority of people, you know, they were set up not to hear that. You know, that's why you got the elect of the nation of Israel. This is only for the elect at the moment, man. That's why the scriptures talk about that. You know, in Romans and so on and so forth.
Straight, man. A lot of these people, hey, man. But it's beautiful. I love that they're blinded, man, because that shows the power of the Lord, man. And that's why you should be fearing the Lord. The Lord's basically, you got men on the street every day. Almost, I say every day. Every week, basically, week in, week out. Coming out, just basically giving pure gems, gold nuggets, fat gold nuggets of wisdom. And people, it's, you know, it's just flying over people's heads. I'm like, that's spectacular. Because let one actual just nugget of gold drop on the street, people are going to be stampeding to get that fat nugget. But hey, that's the wonder, and the Lord's going to have it where they're going to actually know it. Just like, oh, they were right. And then, hey man, a lot of our people are going to be getting jacked up, man. But I think there might have been a bit more on the ref, man.
Yeah. Verse 9. Yeah. This is Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
Yeah, so that's, you know, that bowing down to the image of the beast that Jake's doing a lot of right now. That's what it leads to. You're just going to lead to you taking that mark. Because these Jakes ain't got no problem, you know, whatever the so-called white man says, they're like, oh, well, you know, it is what it is. Just, you know, a so-called white man says being a homosexual is a lifestyle choice. So, oh, you know, these guys, they used to be bunning it out. You go back to these old school Benjamites, a lot of the old school 70s heads, like, they were bunning certain things out, man. They were militant. They were just bowing to that's why the Lord had Judah had to get put back to sleep, man, because the rebellion was coming too hard and too fast, man. Even in the UK, you had motherfuckers rebelling, burning up Brixton, you know, doing all kind of madness, man. The Esau had to basically just okay, loud, the little music thing, little acting thing, you know, little avenues, so they're just nice enough. It's like the Matrix, man. They had to, you know, they said we created the first Matrix to be utopia, but you know, it wasn't. It was the program was lost. They had to adjust the program to the parameters of you know, so that the slaves would be satisfied. And instead, like having basically a bit of a struggle, having a struggle was what they received the program and made the programming work best. You know, so it's you got Jake out struggling, trying to yo, we can get that though. We gonna get that deal. I'm gonna live that life. I'm gonna live my best life. Yo, I'm doing this, man. You got to be your best self. I'm like, bro, you talking about be your best self. Basically, you're saying bow to the image of the beast, man. Whatever you can do, anything you need to do, bow to that image, bow down to that white man, suck that white cock if you need to. I'm like, that is a degenerate, man. Bro, you need to have some integrity, man. What kind of a man, like, what are you actually going to stand for? You're just willing, like, be your best self. That sounds like just do whatever is necessary to achieve, to attain. Come on, man.
It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Yeah, so you're going to take that very specific and concentrated judgment in the presence of Yahweh Shai, man. That's you know, if you're prioritizing bowing to the image of that beast, that's what the Lord's got prepared for you, man. And hey, that's, you know, Barak for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. That, hey, we got this truth, man. Because hey, if you're out there in the world, brother, you're actually you ain't even got a clue, man. What's getting ready to happen, man. So, hey, man, I'll leave you there, man. Say all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.